So the 2024 Mustangs are coming to an end, which means there's tons of deals to be had on those Mustang GTs, but I'm still not fully convinced on the S650 Mustang. So in this video, we're going to be talking about what the future plans are for the channel in terms of getting a new Mustang, and why I really still don't feel strongly about the S650 Mustang. So this is the 2019 Mustang, so I've had it for, close to 5 years now at this point. I bought it brand new with the intention to really keep it for a long period of time. My intention was to really keep it for 10 years, and I didn't really modify it too much in the beginning, but I started modifying the car a little bit, and it's got some things on it. So we're going to discuss those and also discuss why I personally don't feel strongly to get the S650 Mustang just yet. That doesn't mean there won't be an S650 Mustang on the channel, but just yet, I feel like there's a couple things that are worth noting in terms of why I'm not deciding to upgrade my S550 Mustang to the S650. Now, if you're new to the channel, let's go over the mods real quick. So this one has the LUN 93 tune on it. No E85 yet. That's next on my list on my mods that I want to do. As you can see, the car is a little bit lowered as well, sitting on Stida springs with about an inch drop in the front and also the rear. So I love how the stance looks, and it's got some wider tires too. So I ended up upgrading the tires to Michelin all-season tires. They're 285 wide, and you can also see the exhaust system here as well. So I have a Corsa catback on here, and we've got the GT500 spoiler as well in gloss black. Really pulls the car together. It makes it very aggressive. The side profile, if you look at it from here, got a really nice side profile, especially that is lowered now with some new rims. As you can see, the SVE, these are Performance Pack 2 replica wheels. So in terms of cosmetics, I've pretty much built it how I envisioned when I first got the car. The only thing it's missing is a front splitter, which I'm kind of torn on in terms of should I get the front splitter or not, because I daily drive this car and it is lowered. So the last thing I want to do is buy a brand new front splitter and scraping it all the way. And for performance, of course, it just has a LUN 93 tune. I do have a catch can, there's a drop-in filter in there, and the Corsa catback. So really, most of the performance mod is really just the tune. As the other mods I've listed, they really don't add much to the horsepower. I could go for long tube headers, but my state requires emissions, and if I'm not getting the catless headers, I'm not really going to see much of a difference. Plus, not to mention the installation, I've heard, is a pain. So basically, I've done everything I could do to the car except the E85, which is next on the list. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about some boosts. This would be either ESS kit or a Whipple kit. Comment below if you have one or the other, and what are your true impressions of those kits. I'm really wanting to boost the Mustang, but I need a daily driver if I'm going to do that. So that's definitely up for consideration. Now, as you can see, I modified the Mustang how I wanted to, and now we're kind of figuring out, should we upgrade to the S650 Mustang? The thing is, if I do upgrade to the S650 Mustang, there's not much more than you could do than I've already done with this car. One of the main reasons is that it cannot be tuned just yet, which means I can do all the cosmetic mods. I could do a cold air intake and long tube headers on that car as well. No E85. So I'm pretty much going to be stuck with what I can do with that car, and pretty much everything I'm going to do with the S650 Mustang has already been done on this. So it's not going to be a new exciting build because it cannot be tuned. Now, of course, we're hoping the tuning will be unlocked soon, which will open a new door for me with the S650 Mustang, because if the tuning is unlocked, you can go boost. Right now, I know Whipple is selling the Whipple tune and the supercharger, but I want to be able to explore more options, if maybe even do E85 later. So the biggest reason I'm not really keen on getting an S650 Mustang just yet is because, like I said, the car is the way I would want it to be. And if I get the S650 Mustang, I would pretty much be redoing what I did on this. I would get new tires, new rims, maybe a front splitter from Amazon, GT500 spoiler, whatever spoiler is going to be the Amazon special over there or the eBay special. And that's pretty much it. I could add colder intake, I could add long tube headers, but because there's no tuning available yet, you're really not going to be squeezing a lot of power out of those mods. So pretty much I would be back to square one. Once I modify the S650 Mustang, it would pretty much sit exactly like that until the tuning becomes available and we can actually supercharge it or even go turbo. I think supercharger would probably be a more realistic option, but turbo would also be nice. So I think, me personally, I am really hoping the S650 Mustang ECU can get unlocked with one of these reputable tuners, and we can actually tune them. That's going to open a lot of doors for me to be able to get the S650 Mustang. Now, of course, if a right deal pops up, I'm not opposed to letting this thing go for the new 2024 S650 Mustang, because it is going to be new exciting content for you guys. And I'm sure as time passes by, the tuning will eventually come alive and we will be able to tune these 2024 plus Mustangs. The other thing is also that the GT, I've driven the 2024 Mustang GT and have compared it to my 2019 Mustang GT. The difference isn't that huge between the Gen 3 and Gen 4. The transmission is a little bit smoother, you get a little bit more power, but that's about it. Overall, the car is more or less the same car. Now, of course, if I can get my hands on a dark horse, that would change things a lot. Having a 2024 dark horse would be amazing, but of course, they're just so expensive right now, and most dealers I've talked to are tacking on additional to the MSRP, even though we're pretty much at the end of the 2024 model year. So Mach 1 or a dark horse would be nicer in terms of actually upgrading it. Because right now, if I go from a GT to a GT, it would be more or less the same car, and I don't want to do that. So if the tuning just doesn't become available, I don't come across the right deal, I think the realistic option would be once they do a refresh to S650 Mustang, which will probably be in a year or two, that could actually change things maybe for 2026 model year or something like that, where they actually have, because Ford has been good with the revisions. We saw that with the S550, with the Gen 3 Coyote and the 10-speed, completely changed the game. We saw the same thing with the S197. We went from 4.6 V8 to 5.0, and it completely changed the game as well. So that's what I'm hoping. A refresh is going to come along. So even if I go from a GT to GT, the difference is going to be significant enough where we actually get to enjoy the car, and of course the tuning will be unlocked hopefully by then, so I can get you all the information on that, so we can actually modify the car and really put it to its test. But yeah, guys, that's where I'm at right now in terms of the S550 versus the S650 Mustang. I really want to get the new Mustang because I know it's going to be new exciting content for you guys, but I also want to do something that's going to be actually enjoyable for me. And going from a GT to GT, I don't know. If the right deal comes along, I may pull the trigger, but going from a GT to GT, I just know from driving perspective, it's not that big of a difference. Now, if I can get my hands on even S550 Mach 1 or the S650 Dark Horse, that would change things a lot, because I think I would be down for that. Or if the tuning becomes available where I can actually go crazy with that car, I'll be willing to pull the trigger. So comment below, what do you guys want to see? Do you want to see more of the S550? Should I go the boost route and go ESS or Whipple on this? Or should I just save up and wait to see what the tuning is going to be on the S650 and then go from there? So make sure you're subscribed so you can catch on what we end up doing with the channel. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.